Hello and welcome to episode 136 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast. I'm your host, Chris Laverick, on episode 136. Due to illness and to others' work schedules, interviews haven't happened. My apologies. Hope to get them done in the next week or two. But you got the fan roundtable. Enjoy, SBTS fans. It gives me great pleasure to introduce episode 136 of the Isthmian PREM fan roundtable, Sussex by the Sea podcast, all that malarkey. And as usual, got the lovely gents, Robert from Horsham. We got Tom, the HUFC home and away radio man. We got Mark from Whitehawk, and of course the ever-present John from Canvey. Hello, gents. Good evening.
Evening all.
It's been a while. It has been a while. That's unfortunately that's work schedule, illness, and all that. But that's just watching Hastings. It can make you ill, and but yeah, we won't go there too long. Right, let's crack straight into it. Let's start with the happiness that is Rob from Horsham. It's been about 3 weeks since you've been on before. You've since played Hastings, beat us, I know that, but several good wins. Was it 1 in 12 wins? Just
11 out of 12, I think it is. That one
one little mishap against Folkestone.
That's inevitable. It was always going to happen.
Yeah,
but I think that
get cracking, mate.
Yeah, no, I was trying to remember the last time we did the pod where we were, but I think it was Folkestone. We went 3-0 down there. It's like I said, I think that place for us. I think we've lost 10 years on the trot there, so we haven't won there in 10 years. So that's always going to be if their pitch helps, they play to their strengths. They knock it long. It was 1-0. We scored a legitimate goal, but there was ruled off for offside. But I don't think that would have changed much, to be honest. You don't know, but I don't think we deserved much out of that game. We were pretty poor, to be fair. And then I think after Folkestone, we then had back-to-back home games. So Dulwich Hamlet, who turned up, I don't know what's going on there, but we beat them 3-0, and that's quite a convincing, easy, stress-free game. And then we got your mob.
Was that Hakan? Was Hakan still the manager when?
No,
the new manager
he got the boot
over
during that week. So we always thought, you get that new manager bounce. You always ride him for that. But no, there was no sign there whatsoever of them turning it around. I think they've done pretty well. Well, the last couple of games at least got results out of. But yeah, no, it was pretty stress free that afternoon. And after losing to Folkestone, I think that was it's a good game to have at home. Yeah. Dulwich were on the down. And then we had Hastings on the Tuesday night. The rearranged game. How many times that was, but I was on the obviously commentary with Tom, and I think your Hastings did well. I kept saying they were in there. I think you're in that position because you'll know better than I will, but they've got that to put it at the back of the net. That was my sort of taken from the game. I think that your number 3 played pretty well. I like the look of him. He was decent. Caused us some issues, but last Tuesday night game, it was good to get out of the way. I'm not a massive fan of them. It might have sounded stress free, but it wasn't for me. I thought, here we go. Even towards the end, they could make a set piece and a goal, but no, we got that 3 points there, and that was vital for us. Back to back, and then down to Whitehawk on Saturday. And I think that was. I was quite worried to going into the game. It's just a pitch. It's a sort of place where we sort of come and slip up. But I thought we were comfortable. I thought we played really well. I thought we were solid at the back. It was good to see. It was a proper performance. Like they turned up and it was professional. That's probably you could take away from that. We got Dicko and up the top and Strange and Philpott and Elliott. We just looked strong. So that was another vital, obviously, but they're all vital now for us. But a big 3 points. Whitehawk scored to make it a bit edgy towards the end. But even after they scored, at the time, obviously, you're in the game and you're in the moment. You think, it's going to be some nervy moments. But we were comfortable after they scored, and we just saw the game out. And I thought we edged that and thoroughly deserved it. But then the midweek game, obviously the midweek this week, which was Dartford and Chichester. Obviously, we're chasing them and they drew, so that's helped us. So, look, things are looking rosy at the moment in the Garden. We got we got on Saturday. We got Chatham, and then Cray Valley, which will be a big game as well. And then we've got the big one at Dartford on the 1st of March. So, big 2 home games. We can get maximum points out of there and see where we are going into that Dartford game. That will be a big, massive game for us, and we'll take a massive following, I would have thought. But yeah, at the moment, it's all looking, there's not much to really whinge about and moan about. It's all good on the pitch, off the pitch. It's, it feels like I've been saying this for a while, but no, it's been good by all means, and I think we're the most positive thing for us now. We're turning up and we're doing professional jobs. I think these boys now have got experiences, come from the cup runs, the FA Cup runs. They've had big games, and I think you can see that now. So yeah, no, it's all looking good, and hopefully long may continue.
Yeah, Chatham Saturday. It's such a who knows what you're going to get with Chatham.
Yeah.
I thought they would do a lot better this season. So
yeah, I thought they would. They chucked another load of money at it, didn't they? Obviously with Freddie Sears coming in, and so yeah, when we played them at their place, we lost. It was 0-0 with 82 minutes gone. It was in between that cup run. It was a rearranged game from that on a Tuesday night, and they scored 2 in the last 8 minutes or so. So we owe them one. What they'll be like you say, there depends what toss of the coin really with them at the moment. You just don't know what you're going to get, but hopefully we can. We're solid at home. Our home form's is pretty immense. I think that's 11 or 12 wins on the bounce we've had at home. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I said, that's a big one, and then Cray the following week. But yeah, hopefully we can turn Chatham over and see what happens later on in the season. But it's going to be tight. I know it's getting interesting at the bottom. It's at the top. It's ridiculously tight. There's always a result chucked in there. Dover are just shit in the bed. I thought they would be running away with it, and then they sort of been hit a brick wall at the moment. I'm sure they'll come strong again, but like I keep saying, when we played Canvey on the 21st of December, we were 19 points behind them, and now we're like 3 points in front. So it's going to be interesting, but we should just keep winning and see what other teams do. But I think for us, we're still looking at second, if in that, get that home playoff. But this title's wide open now, I feel. So I looked at it briefly. Bill Ricky's running looks pretty, they haven't got anyone that tough. I think they're mid to lower end of the table, but you just don't know when the pressure's there. But it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be it might not be. It's absolute squeaky bum time for clubs like Hastings in terms of relegation. But that playoff spots, it is like it's quite open. It's going to be an exciting running, definitely.
No,
right,
absolutely.
Canvey, come on, John, talk to me. I know obviously our game got called off. I don't think we could be bothered to sort the pitch out for you.
Sounds a bit hard, mate.
You've had a couple of good wins in between some iffy results. So talk to me. Obviously, there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes as well, mate. The life of a Canvey fan.
That's it, exactly, mate. Never a dull day. One peaceful day. So see the bags around my eyes is probably a result of that. But no, on the pitch, start with that, to be fair. I mean, I generally can't remember the last time we picked up on. I mean, I think we sort of come off for two losses against, we had Cray Valley, where, again, we didn't play bad, but just struggled to create much in front of goal. And, again, just silly mistakes helped them get a win over us, really. But I didn't, to be honest, for a side that are up in the playoffs, I didn't think they were a great deal of cop. They just got a lot of the basics right, which I suppose can take you quite far in this league. But yeah, I think a good team would give them problems. Same said Cheshunt, really. Cheshunt, we were really good. We were battling in that game. I know it had been touch and go with us for the pitch. We had a couple of these young lads helping our groundsmen out get it on. Kind of should have just left it in the end, considering the way we lost that one. I'll say we battled hard, had a few good chances, and then just one stupid mistake at the back again. Just gifted them a 1-0. And that was a bit of a damning one because they're another side who are sort of in and around that sort of mesh at the bottom now. So we needed a win from somewhere. We had Chatham, and we kind of applied the same energy we had in the Cheshunt game in Chatham, and it paid off. I thought we were really, really good in that one. Just sort of battled for everything across the park. Well taken goal, sort of come from the set piece. And to be honest, we stopped them from doing anything, really. They never created much, never threatened us much, really. We could have, put it to bed if we'd maybe been a bit more lethal in front of goal. But overall, it was a real confidence-boosting win, that one. I say we played to our strengths on sort of pitch. Our pitch is a bit heavy at the moment as well, obviously, with all the in and out weather, the rain, the ice and whatnot. But yeah, we sort of took that in. We had Bowers the following Tuesday, and sort of same outcome, really. Battled hard. I think they look pretty adrift now. Bowers, they looked a pretty awful team. They, again, never really threatened much out of us at all. But yeah, we were good in the first half, especially. Great load of chances, took 2 of them. And it sort of left things feeling a bit more of a positive place. Well, on the pitch at least, anyway. I'll tell you about off it in a minute. But that took us in Cole Shelton. And it's normally been quite a happy hunting ground for us. But we started that game really, really well. Took the lead after about 5 minutes. Could have easily been out of sight. Again, if we buried chances, could have been out of sight by half time. But silly from our captain, got himself a second yellow just before half time. And that just turned the game, after that. I mean, they scored quick coming out the gates in the second half. And yeah, it just made it hard for us, really. I mean, they've got a good, decent home record at the minute as well, Shaun. I don't think they've lost there in about sort of 8 or 9 games now. So, it was a lot of huff and puff work for us, really. Like I say, they got the second, and we tried coming forward, but yeah, that extra man advantage, it just killed us, really. So that was a bit of a shame, considering how positive we started the game. To how it finished, really, and I left a bad taste in my mouth coming out of there. But yeah, I think we obviously, it's not one of the games that we were looking to get a result out of, because we knew obviously they're still trying to chase playoffs if possible. Yeah. So obviously it was more of a case of looking at the games like Chestnut's Bowers and obviously yourselves, Chris. But yeah, the weather played that again. So yeah, we'll see when that is now. But we got another massive one at the weekend there.
Bognor, isn't it?
Bognor at home. So yeah, really,
you've got to be beating them. I mean, if you lose to them, my eyes might light up. If you lose to Bognor, my eyes are going to light up. I'll be like, hang on.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's just
the miracle may happen.
We go into it with the right attitude, to be fair. Then I can't see why we can't win out of it, especially at home at the moment. If we can sort of turn that trick against Chatham and Bowers, then yeah, we got that. We got a big cup semi-final next Tuesday as well against Chelmsford. So hopefully that'll get a decent little crowd over there. And then Whitehawk the following week. So some really big games, to be honest.
6 pointers.
Games next month. Yeah. I'll say this was a bit of a crunch month for us, really. The fact that we have got a couple of wins under our belt is very helpful. But yeah, I'd say we could at least do another one just to give us that little bit of a buffer. Keeps our teams like Hendon and that off our back as well.
Well, as long as you beat Whitehawk.
But yeah,
beat Whitehawk for us, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, no, I'm under no impression that that's not going to be an easy game, to be honest. I mean, obviously it was a bit different when we played them at our gap. I know when Mark was talking before, obviously he was saying it just seemed like a team of individuals, not a great manager. Now they've got that spring in their step again, can grind out those results. So yeah, we have to be our best. But yeah, with all this going on, we've had this rumbling issues off the pitch where fans and the owners seem to be at loggerheads again, which is just ridiculous. It really is. We had this sort of thing where I think after the Cray Valley game, I kind of was talking to some people. I'm not going to name names just in case.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think any of them listen. I don't think half our owners know to work Bluetooth, let alone what podcast it is. But yeah, I got it from a very good source that they're not helping our management team out at all. They're not giving them any more sort of funds to bring in new players. Our manager's paying for 3 players out of his own pocket, and he's not a wealthy man. Like he's got a decent enough job over the sort of golf course on Canvey, but that's three decent players he's paying for out of his own back pocket. Someone else confirmed that to me in the week after I'd heard that. Again, someone who had no reason to really do it, and I never even prompted them, but they just said the same. So obviously they got a lot of people talking. I think our owners found out about that, and all of us in what we sort of call the little ultras group all got an earful as a result, saying, "There's no rumours, the club ain't doing this, blah 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 blah." And it's like, all right, whatever, just get up on back for God's sake, I don't know, one fit person might say one thing and someone else saying another. It's just stupid. But the first people they look to throw the book at is us, because we're the sort of little vocal minority of the fans there. And then I think when we played Bowers, obviously it was quite I say it was quite busy. I mean, it was a local little derby. They don't bring many, but we had a fair few over there. And I think no one in our sort of bubble, because none of us heard anything at all. But apparently, I don't know, some youngsters run his mouth at the lino, said something out of turn, which, yeah, not great. But the FA's reported us as a result, and the owners have again thrown the book at us, because we all stand over there. So everyone's got the ump with them now. They're basically like defamation of character, essentially. Anything bad happens to that club, it's always our fault. And we've been told we've got to police it as well. It's like, well, get a bloody steward under that shed. If you are that concerned about things going from that side of the ground, do the simple thing. I mean, I go around, I sort of help do a few things on match days. That game, I went round to the sort of press box, do the music for half time. There are literally 2 or 3 stewards just standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? I know you don't get paid, but at the same time, You know, if you're actually going to be
And
useful
they're
over
like
here.
Chatham. They're like Chatham stewards. You know, that just everything else goes on around them.
Chatham's ones you can tell at least very much get paid, but like ours are just useless. I mean, it's a shame because I don't want to like throw it all on them as people, because I talked to a couple of them and they're all right, but they should be doing their job. And why we got to be the ones who police other fans? You know, particularly it's just one or two idiots who have done this. So yeah, I mean, this just seems to have been the straw that's broke the camel's back with a lot of people. A lot of people just got the arsehole with it, and yeah, I think we've sort of said on the weekend we're looking at doing just basically, I don't know, it's like a silent protest, or saying no one goes where we normally stand, just sort of scatter out, no singing, no drums, no flags, nothing like that. Just to kind of show them that this is how stale and lifeless this club is going to be without us if you chase us out of it. So you can either talk to us like human beings and actually work with us to sort these things out. Don't just keep sitting there constantly throwing us under the bus and, you know, just slagging us off. Or we can just go, you know, and that would be a good 50 to 100 people off the gate if they've done that. Yeah, that's it.
John,
yeah, generally it's got as bad as that. It's honestly, mate, it's doing my nutting. It really is. Like I say, just one normal day at that club is all ours. With every day, it's like hear a new bleeding drama coming out, and yeah, I just don't get it. I don't know what sort of contempt they have for us. Literally, just because we are the vocal bit of the crowd, I think they just look to make us a scapegoat, like easy target, and it's just again and again and again. It keeps happening. You think like, oh, maybe you put water under the bridge. Yeah, okay, things are fine there, and something new happens. It's just all on us all the time. And I say it has wound a lot of people up, a lot of people. So I say that'd be interesting now. Obviously, I just want to focus on the pitch. All we want to do is just go and support the team. You know, that's all our mandate is. We want to get behind the team. You know, like I mean, because the squad are good with us. It's nothing to do with them. The manager's always been good with us. And he always wants to keep us on side. And we always do keep on side with him. Where other people have been going on this season saying, oh, he should get chopped because of where we are down there, just a so knee-jerk reaction in it. And as I said, we keep telling him, look, it's not as simple as that. You know, he's got nothing to work with. He's got a squad together on a shoestring, and they're all put in a shift. I can't fault him for that. A lot of them are young lads as well.
And he's buying players himself. I mean, it sounds a bit.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, he set up a thing at the beginning of the season with another fellow who does work over the club. They got the club together with a lot of, I think, former players and obviously people they know as well. It was all like a sweepstakes thing. And they just put that together for sort of basic things like sort of new training balls, sort of bibs, things like that. And he sort of dipped into a bit of that with player budget as well. But it's all because they knew they couldn't rely on the club or the owners for financial support. And yeah, it's a mess, mate, honestly. But yeah, like I say, all I just generally want the focus to be on is what's going on the pitch. And, you know, say we're certainly not out of the woods. We've got some tough games coming up. And, you know, in a time where people should be united behind the side and getting us out of that sort of mat together, it just feels, I don't know, mate. It's not good at the minute.
Wow.
But I hope things can improve. I want things to improve. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So, John, essentially, the club have got the arse with you as supporters because you're worried about the sustainability of your football club. Yeah.
I mean, I think this is all sort of rumbled on slowly in the background since we had a fans forum at long last in the summer. Because questions got asked then, and they were just basically dodged and shouted down, essentially. I mean, like our owner, he started up that. I mean, you think, okay, you start up a meeting, and this just sort of set the tone from the word go, right? You set up a meeting with the fans. You generally think your first thing you maybe say as the club owner is like, thanks for coming. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we understand, obviously, you've got some questions you want to ask us, and we're here to help address them, so let's see what we can do. Instead of doing that, he turned around, he sat down, he's like, well, you got us here, what do you want? That was his actual words. No lie. And it just got people's backs up and were going. Since then, as I say, it's just all been rumbling on in the background, and the last couple of weeks, it's all just come to a head. But this has been going on for, I say, not just this season, last season it happened as well. And it's honestly, mate, it's for one little club like that, I just do not know. It's so much drama. But it all stems from the top all the time. Just they're so inept with talking to people, sorting things out. There's no ambition there at all. They don't look to bring anything in. We had, I don't know, there's rumours. I mean, it's only, I can only say it's a rumour because I don't know whether it's confirmed yet. But we had a player over there the other season called Luke Rowman. And we all got on really well with his dad. He loved the ultras. He was like, he would always, come out with us on the away days. He'd buy us a drink, but he was absolutely minted about the man. And I think his son wasn't really getting played much on the team, so he's sort of gone since, but he's rocked up at Bowers now, and apparently he's going to put money in there. But while he was at Canvey, the rumour is that he offered to put money in, and this would have been decent money to help prop up the squad. They flat out turned him down. And I know the exact reason why they turned him down is I think if anyone with a decent bit of business acumen come in and had a seat on that table, they'd take one look at what they're doing and go, how on earth have you sustained this like this for as long as you have? Because it is a shambles. But yeah, it's just, I think that's why they just turn away any investment, anything like that. It's ridiculous, mate, honestly.
But it makes you wonder makes you wonder what their ambitions actually are with Canvey as well.
I think their ambition basically is just maybe get, I don't know, a couple of hundred through the gate on a match day. They don't care what league we're in, whether it's this league, Isthmian North, whatever, and basically run that all like it's their little social club. That's all they seem to aspire to be honest. They haven't made it clear of anything else sort of going forward, or try and move forward in the club. I mean, the chairman, we asked what our sort of aims are for the season, at the beginning of the season. And he said, "Oh yeah, I think we can make the playoffs." Everyone just laughed at that, like you bring the table upside down, mate. Literally, if you're not putting anything into helping the manager sort of bring in the players he needs, and we're signing up players from, don't get me wrong, honest boys, I can't fault for that, but some of them used to be North players, county league players, some a bit raw around the edges, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It
could be worse, mate. John. It could be worse, mate.
Yeah,
you could be
we'll see, mate.
a Hastings United fan, mate. You could be a Hastings United fan right now. Thanks for that, John. Right, I'm going to go do Hastings quick. Mark, you got to wait for a little while because I want a collective moan and groan with my fellow fans. Hello, Windy.
Hello. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's me. We started early, so it's not you, mate.
Well, I was also down the shop getting your Valentine's card, so.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. And obviously Tommy do the radio, both of them. Before we start, unfortunate news. Obviously, Chris Taylor passing away, a fan who collapsed at the Chatham game. Unfortunately, died last week. So just to top our season off, really. Just quickly, my thoughts on Chris. I don't know, like with all of you. You have your kind of things that you do as you go in the ground. You'll say hello to such and such, then to such and such. The routines. Chris was part of that routine. You'd see him always a little comment. Usually he'd have something he'd say about the podcast if something amusing happened or someone got called a naughty word or whatever. He had quite a fun sense of humour. You'd have a little bit of a laugh with him. And he's he wasn't a close friend, but he was someone you'd always spend 5-10 minutes with at a football game, and it's gutting. I don't know your thoughts, John, Tom.
Well, I think the first time I actually I met Chris, it was actually when Kev helped me out with commentary last year at Canvey, Kev Towner.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chris was his PA back then.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I met Chris, and just from sort of just a brief interaction with him, it was just really nice, just how sort of easy and just approachable he was, just to help me out with anything. And he always said to me, "Look, if ever you need any help, sort of any games, just give me a shout, and I'd always be happy to sort of just be there for you if you ever need it." But yeah, and it was just having a chat with him just about other things as well. Always just had that time just to, as you said, just stop, make the effort, always have a little chat, supporters.
He's a good guy. John, any words, mate?
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I didn't know him very, very well, but he was, like you say, Chris, he's one of those guys who just stop and have a little chat every game, and he's one of the nice guys, quite quiet really, but had a nice dry sense of humour.
Well, you need that when you're a Hastings fan.
Well, you do, yeah. But I understand somebody told me he used to play for Hastings Reserves years ago, but
did he? I don't know that.
I don't remember that, and I'm not sure how true it is, but no, he was a lovely guy, and he's going to be missed. He will be missed because he's not one of these that gets in your face and shouts every game, but he would stop.
Home and away.
Even if he was.
Even when we got stuffed, I remember because obviously it's been a shite season for Hastings, but even in other seasons, he was one of those ones that never took it too seriously. He wasn't a miserable git, and so that's why it's not that miserable gits should die, but
No, no,
like he was a happy-go-lucky type. So
yeah, it's very sad. And like you say, it's as if it makes the rest of the season irrelevant almost, doesn't it? Really, sort of what's
yeah.
happened. I
Well,
think,
the club's doing something on the Dulwich game.
yeah,
It's going to be a commemoration to him. I'm not sure if the family's involved or not. That I don't know yet. And obviously Chatham, where obviously this happened, it's going to be free to get in, and all the money's going to be donated to the
yeah,
air ambulance
that's
service, which was a very good
fantastic.
touch from them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, there was lots of messages coming out on the Chatham site as well as the Hastings ones, wasn't there, for condolences. And yeah, it's one of those horrible things that you don't ever want to see, do you? You never want to hear about it. I mean, poor Tom, he went through it, didn't you, Tom? So
yeah.
it's just an awful thing. I hope nobody ever has to see it at all. Just a little thing. I mean, I did actually ask one of our officials. I know we got a defibrillator around our ground somewhere because Pat McCrossan sorted it out. And I asked one of the officials about it. And yeah, we got one, but they're not sure where it is. Can you make that up?
Well, you only think about these things when these sort of events happen, but it's a vital thing.
It's something that everyone should know at
Yeah.
least who to get to if something like that happens. Luckily, in that
'Cause
situation, well,
lots
say
of these
lucky,
clubs run on volunteers, and they're
yeah,
taken for granted, and
taken
it's
for
like kind of
granted.
stuff
Yeah,
they need to know because
yeah,
things like this can happen. It's the
yeah.
potential's there, isn't it? So
Yeah. So if you have any of you guys from the other clubs have got defibrillators around the ground, try and find out where they are because you never know when you're going to need them. And it's
yeah.
yes. Anyway,
Yeah, right. Moving on from that, a very sad event. Anyway, much love to Chris Taylor's family,
yeah,
and
yeah,
hopefully something can come from this season. We can the miracle can happen. But so we're looking at the results. See a couple of Sussex games weren't bad against Lewis. I didn't think. I thought unlucky and kind of knocked on the door a little bit. 1-0. Horsham again. Another game where we huffed and puffed. We were better organised, better shape, kind of more difficult to beat, but the wrong side of the sky. I mean, Tom, you've commentated these games, mate. So, any thoughts on Lewis, Horsham, or Cheshunt?
I mean, personally, I don't, because obviously having been at sort of those games, I mean, like if you just kind of think just kind of where we've probably been sort of maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and in the last 5 games, I think we've only lost by the 1 goal.
Hmm.
And then just reflecting on it, it doesn't really feel like you sort of watched a game that sort of ended sort of with just a 1 goal loss in it. You sort of feel as though there's almost been a point or something to take
Yeah.
out of it, out the
yeah.
list. It's just a matter of sort of just having someone just there, sort of clinical to.
That's what's missing. That's what's been missing, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
they've tightened it up a bit in defence, and it's still a little bit worrying with set pieces. They're getting there, though. I think it's getting a bit tight. It's getting a bit better, but it's
Running
just
out of games now, though, haven't we?
yeah, I know.
They had the new guy, who's on
Yeah.
loan from Eastbourne Borough. He played on Saturday against Cheshunt. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I think he got brought off just after the hour mark, but in the
What did you
time,
think?
he looked good, I thought.
Yeah,
He sort
yeah,
of looked really lively, like made himself like a threat down both wings. That was a
yeah.
good work rate on him as well.
That's good.
That's what I
Yeah. Just need. I've been saying it for a little while. If you just keep a blank sheet, at least you stand a chance of getting at least 1 point. Don't you? I mean, if you could get 0-0s, it's a point a game. When I first started saying that, we had about 12 dozen games, even more left.
Mm.
And it would have been enough just to scrape us out, but we can't seem to keep a clean sheet, can we? And listening to Tom's commentary, the last 2 or 3 games, there's always been that last minute, oh, we've got a chance, and just didn't happen.
Ifs and buts, mate. Ifs and
All that
buts.
ifs and buts.
Yeah.
On going back to Saturdays against Cheshunt, I mean, just I don't know if you've had well, I know John, I think you've seen it, but Chris, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the winning goal that Cheshunt scores.
Oh,
That was a cracker.
cracking goal.
It's an absolute screamer. If you're going to, that's what I said to the people when we on the radio chat. I said, if you're going to lose a game, you lose it like that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
what can you just hold your hands up if the opposition score a screamer?
Yeah. I'd be interested to know, Rob, Horsham Rob, what did you think about us?
So like I was saying just before you came on, I was quite, Hastings, I thought they set up well. I remember speaking to Tom on numerous occasions saying that you're always in the game. You never look like you're out of it. There was 2 concerns really if I was a Hastings fan. One would be the goal came from, I think Tom will probably back me up on this, that I think like there's 2 or 3 times we kicked the ball long and it went straight through the middle of your defence. And that's where the goal came from. It was a mishap from your centre half, who played well into that day. I think, was it Black or someone, I think? Played solid, and it was just that one mistake. And like with anything, when you're down the bottom, you get punished for that. So that was repetitive, which was a little bit I'd be frustrated at, and I'm sure you've seen a lot more than I have, obviously. And the other ones, like I said, the goal, he had a goal scorer. Even someone who could get 10, 12 goals, I think. It was a bit like Bogner when Bogner turned up. It's tough to say because, like I was saying to Tom beforehand, off radio, was that we only see these teams once or twice if you go, 180 minutes. It depends, if you go home and away. And obviously, I've been to Hastings first game of the season. And then, so I wasn't, if you just walked into that ground, you wouldn't expect to be where you are. You put up a solid defence, and you could see that the manager works on some sort of structure, and it was there. It was just that final third, and that's the reason why you're down there, I suppose. It's the same with the other teams, But when you start getting beaten by, wonder goals and things, you sometimes think, wow, this as frustrating as it is, it might be the time, But it's so tight. I think Bogner have gone.
Yeah, definitely.
They're awful. I don't know what's happened there. Bowers, I think, are going. I think Hendon will go, and then I think it'll be one from 3 or 4. But someone will have to put a run together.
Yeah, it's time for
because you're asking teams like Canvey, Whitehawk to drop quite a few points between now and when you play those teams in and around you. I think you've got to, that Chesham one was massive because it's sod the 6 points. It's 9, 12 points now if you're playing a team around you. But I was impressed with Hastings, the setup, and how they approached the game. But it is unfortunately how it seems to be going for you guys at the moment.
See, Tommy Fagg's gone as well, isn't he? Tommy Fagg, who's forward player that always getting injured. He's gone now.
So reading between the lines, it was his decision. He wanted to go to. He doesn't want the club to be in a position that they can't have another forward.
He's still 6 to 8 weeks from playing.
Yeah, I think he knows he's not going to be around for the rest of the season, and he's put it in his own heart to say, I'll go. Get yourself or somebody else in to replace me. Because at the end of the day, they're still playing people, aren't they? When they're injured, they still have to pay.
And the club contract.
He knows.
And he's been out injured for what, 2 months now?
Yeah, and that's a nice touch from him, really. If that's how I'm reading it, which I think I am. I mean, that it's not somebody we haven't got rid of him. He's asked to go because of the situation. He knows he can't be.
I think there's probably a little bit of 50-50 in that one.
Probably, maybe, but. Yeah, they've obviously had words and said, well, how do you feel?
Glenn White got the old hammer out. It was a bit like, Casino, when they get the hands out. Fucking time to go, mate. We need to get someone in. We are absolutely desperate for something. Go on then. Sorry, John.
So we need somebody else now to replace him, don't we? That's the thing. I mean,
which just who do you get now, though?
Even though he's been injured, there's always that hope that he might come back, and he isn't going to come back. So get someone else.
I saw. I don't know if you saw it, but your manager's interview after our game was quite telling. He's obviously tried. I don't know how much truth is into it, but he was saying that he's tried to get players in, and especially strikers. Everyone can see it. But it's if you're a top striker, you'll go to a team that's pushing promotion, or you go to a team that gives you money. It's quite hard to bring players in now. So I don't know. It sounds like he's been trying, but it's just you get a striker from the league below, and you just hope you take a chance, and he bangs in 10 between now and the end of the season, but. Yeah. Sounds like you're trying to get someone in, but it's just who and
our budget isn't
it's not easy,
the highest, Rob. That's the problem.
So I think he's quite honest with what he says. He always says he doesn't want to just bring in anyone. He wants obviously to bring in the right player. Yeah. He's going to try and help the team.
I think it'd be great, absolutely superb, if he could get somebody in who's also a skipper-like person, somebody who's got a bit of voice. There's no one out there who's got any voice at the moment. It's so quiet. It's just... There's no leadership, and it's been like that all season. They're all nice players, they're all good players, but that's the answer. That's the problem.
Maybe that's the problem, that they're all nice players.
That's the nice players. There's nobody with any real edge.
I think only our goalie's got sent off this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think. Didn't Tommy Fagg? I'm not sure.
I remember talking to Tommy Fagg, the most amusing goalkeeping I've ever seen. Hands up to Tommy Fagg. We put him in goal. Where did we lose to? Was it Bowers and Pitsy? We lost to.
That was Chesham. Do you remember the rep assessor who sat in front of us?
Yeah.
Absolute Bambi in goal. The tall, big old tall bloke, but just he forgot his arms are supposed to be used. But experiment stopped quickly.
Billy Vega took over and he was better.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
And now he's injured as well. So
he got injured, yeah.
Anyway.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the mighty Whitehawk. Is Mark still with us? Has he turned the
I'm still
electricity
here.
off?
I'm
He's
still
still
here.
there, mate.
Yeah, I'm
Gone
still
back in his
Yeah.
gym.
Come on.
Oh,
You got a few cheeky reps in. What?
Yeah.
Come on then. Talk to me about your Whitehawk boys, mate.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to send my condolences to Chris, Hastings supporter as well. On behalf of Whitehawk, I did tweet about it as well. It's obviously sad to lose a fellow non-league supporter, especially a fellow Sussex supporter as well of the club. So yeah, my condolences to him and his family and his friends, and to Hastings United. But touching on Whitehawk, yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, really. I think the last time I come on here, we'd probably just played maybe Dartford away, where John come up. But yeah, we went to Carshalton, 2-0 down, got a 96-minute equaliser. Following week, went to Cheshunt, comfortably 1-4-1 there. Beat Lewis at home, beat Cray Wanderers at home. Looked all quite hunky-dory, to be honest with you. Looked really good. Then we had a moody fixture up at Potter's Bar. A Sunday 4:00 kickoff. Which
Why was that?
There was no explanation to it. It was just
so random. Yeah.
It was just a horrible.
I think the reason they're playing South Fridays and Sundays at the moment is they're still at Kings Langley, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, so they've got to kind of work it around Kings Langley's schedule.
Yeah, and I presume obviously there's quite a few clubs there. There's a lot of Watford sort of about there and stuff. So, but yeah, that game sort of from the get go wasn't great. The referee lost control. You could see it within 5 minutes. He every decision, in fairness, that he should have given to us, he gave to them. Every decision he gave to them should have given to us. It was pretty much one of those games where if you shout the loudest, you're getting the decision. And I turned around to my mates and said, "This is going to kick off. Something's going to go off here." And it did. At half time, walking up the tunnel, our skipper was sort of around 3 of their players, and I could hear him literally saying to their left back, "You've been our best player this half, mate. Thank you very much." And within that, 3 of them pushed him into the fence, and it just went mental. I've not seen scenes like it for a long time. And it just all got a bit silly. I thought from that there would be probably a sending off in the second half, because the ref was threatening to abandon the game, just purely because he lost control of the game. So he's well out of his depth. Conceded a third early on, a really, really sloppy, poor goal. And then it sort of killed it off. We nicked a goal towards the end, and we thought maybe this will get another one. And then and the results since then, the Horsham game. I mean, losing to Horsham is not a bad thing, to be honest. Rob your team flying, and I would comfortably put money down on you boys going up. To be honest with you, you don't look like a team that's gonna lose much. I don't think in your running. But the game the other night against Hendon was just it's a 6-pointer really. It's one of those relegation games where you go, we're at home, and within 5 minutes Hendon go down to 10 men, and you think, right, go 1-0 up. You go, right, I expect goal after goal sort of thing, or at least something comfortable. And we drew 2-2. We've lost Kai Jennings from AFC Wimbledon, who's probably been, between him and Manny and our captain Briggsy, he's been one of our best players this season. Through all the turmoil, the first 10 games, he was one of those that stuck with it and really grafted. So to lose him really out the blue, really, was really disappointing. And we haven't got anyone in to replace him yet, which is what we're crying out for. But we got a player in called Harry Bridle from Gillingham, young kiddie, 18 years old, and he's been flying, scoring goals, so energetic, just attacks players, and just looks like one of these players that you could comfortably see in 5-10 years' time playing league football at a high standard. But it's just frustrating because when you go through sort of a run of beating Lewis, beating Cray Wanderers, and getting a point at Carshalton when we're 2-0 down in the 96-minute equaliser, we've got this fight. As I said, we've got like a never say die attitude in the squad, but the last few games that sort of disappeared. I don't know, it just seems like typical Wild, really. As frustrating as it is, this league can, as I say all the time, can muster up any sort of results. If you're not on it on your day, expect to get turned over, or expect to not get the result you think you're going to get. We're away to Dover on Saturday.
Toughie.
Yeah, we're going to go down there, but I'm not optimistic. I mean, even if
They're
we
on
score a goal,
form, aren't they? So you just don't know. You turn up with the right attitude, no reason to pass them.
like Rob said earlier, that Dover have been a funny team. I mean, at the start of the season, they were romping it, and you're sort of like, well, no one's gonna stop these. And then I think they lost Mitch Walker, obviously, who we had for a couple of years, who was arguably our best player for a couple of seasons in goal. They've lost him, and that's sort of when their downturning results have come. But again, you literally never know. We could go down to Dover, we could lose 4-0, we could win, we can nick it 1-0. But I just can't see us not conceding. We have built quite a solid base at the back. Joe Tennant's come back from Dover on loan, who was with us last season. So that base is there. Our keeper Zaki, who broke his leg at the first game of the season away at Billericay, he made his first appearance back in goal on Tuesday against Hendon. So that was good to see. So the foundations are getting built, but we're not adding to the squad again. If we're losing key players like someone like Kai, who can just create something out of nothing completely, you have to replace them type of players, and it's crucial you do that. And it's just gone quiet, and nobody knows why. And then, like John said, we got Canvey coming up again. Is another 6-pointer. I mean, the games in hand sort of around us. I think Hendon have got two games in hand over us, or a game in hand over us, below us. So if they nick that, they're only 2 points behind us. I think Canvey have got 2 games in hand over us. But it's just frustrating, because you think, well, since Shaun come in, we just went at it. Everyone sort of had a rock up their arse in a way, and it was so refreshing to see. But also, sometimes when we don't get the result we want, you just see a lot of bitching and a lot of moaning from the players, and rather than sort of going, come on, lads, let's get behind each other. Let's actually, we're capable of actually getting results in this league. We've proven it time and time again that we can beat any team on our day. But it's usually the games that we need to get the results out of that we're sort of coming away going, that's not good. That is not good. And I mean, no disrespect to Hendon, but you go 1-0 up after 10 minutes against 10 men. You should, at home, you should be putting them to bed. You shouldn't be coming away with a 2-2 draw.
Well, that did cheer me up. I'll have to be honest with you, Mark. When I saw, hang on, 2-2, how have they managed that?
That's what I said.
Sorry. I mean, we're praying for a miracle from one of you lot. So,
mate, that's what I said. I was like, how's this happened? But again, and I say it all the time on this pod, all the time. The Isthmian League is one of the most unpredictable leagues to be a fan of, and I think that's why we love it, really, because it's just the ups and downs constantly. If you watch the Premier League and you support a big 6 side, you sort of expect to roll teams over most weekends. Where, I mean, if you're in Rob's shoes, you probably expect to roll teams over most weekends anyway. But it's, I don't know, it's going to be very, like I said to the boys in our group chat the other day, at least it's not going to be boring towards the end of the season. At least we're not sitting mid-table, and it's just going to be one of those.
I'll take boring mid-table, mate. I'll take boring.
I mean, you would, yeah, you would, yeah, you boys would. But I think, personally, Hendon will take that spot of going down. And I'd like to believe that we will stay up, but there's a long way to go still. And I'll always be optimistic, but I'm always very realistic as well at the same time. With the squad we got, if we can just add 1 or 2 players into it, we're absolutely fine. We still have, on paper, I know paper don't win football matches, we have a good squad. We've got a good group of boys, and we've got some players on the bench like Imran that we've sort of gone, he should be starting really, but it just shows that we've got the quality there to be, we can't get into the first 11. So I'm always optimistic, and I believe that we'll pick up some big results. I mean, if we do beat Canvey, then that will be a massive, massive boost, because I'm not expecting nothing from Dover. So, it's going to be a big old fight towards now and the end of the season. But
squeaky bum time.
We love a bit of squeaky bum time, don't we? That's what makes the football so interesting. That's why I love it.
Spare thought for us, but don't forget we lost 9-0 to Hendon. Look.
Again, I still remark on that. I know I spoke about this before. They beat us 9-0. They were upper mid-table, as I remember.
Yeah.
And they've absolutely sunk. I mean, I know we've sunk like a stone, but like they're a heavier stone than us, because they've got, I mean, after winning 9-0, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Who thinks in the season I'm going to be in the relegation zone after beating someone 9-0?
But
it
I
goes
mean,
to show you, though, the other key factor like that change where, like I say, their manager went, a couple of their best players went in with him. It's just absolutely ripped the sort of heart and any plan of what they were doing out the side, hasn't it? So it can be very hard to replace that. As Mark's saying, like, you lose those key players. If you don't replace them, it can leave massive holes in your side. You will need those key players. You still do have to step up. That's the joy and the woes of being down in that sort of relegation measure, isn't it?
And the thing is, you do have to step up in these games. I mean, if you're, it doesn't matter what team you're playing. You know, if you've got 1, 2, even or 3 players, which is massive in an 11, just not on it on their day, you'll get turned over. And like I said, against teams where you would sort of go, oh, we can get a point here, we get 3 points here, quite confident. Again, if you ain't got 2 or 3 players that are literally on it on the day, you'll get battered half the time. I mean, the Potters Bar game was, I mean, we lost 3-2, but I mean, it's ridiculous. Their centre half all game was just threatening to punch up our players. You could hear him literally. That's all he was saying. Number 5, he was the one that caused all the aggro in the tunnel. I mean, John, I remember speaking to you about that number 5 in particular, and Potters Bar. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, the Potters, but I think just I come away from Potters just sort of thinking, I don't like you as a football club, to be honest.
We're exactly the same, mate. Like I say, it sounded like a carbon copy of what we had when we played them at home. You know, the ref lost control early in the game. They were just paying sympathy for him, where on one hand, and then just putting out all the dirty tricks in the book on the other, and it all again sort of come to a head at the end. Great big row about it. I know their management and that they were trying to gall our fans and then our players, and it's like, you just class us as a club, mate, honestly.
Yeah, and what was the most frustrating thing is that number 5 in particular had got booked in the second, and within 5-10 minutes of the second half, challenge gone in, and it all went off again, kicked off on the pitch. Yeah. 2 minutes later, they subbed him off. He should have been off.
That called Ricky Howells.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm certain I looked at it when you mentioned it, and I thought, oh, who's that? But I know he's a player. He was at Hornchurch, I remember, for quite a few years, and always had that kind of reputation about him. Very much what you call a shithouse defender, to be honest. Gets in people's heads.
Yeah,
so,
we could do with that, to be honest.
They're getting in people's heads, and
employ any dark arts, mate. Dulwich are going to get it. They already know they like a flat white. The Dulwich, all the soy milk. We've took all the soy milk away from Hastings, so they're not going to be happy drinking their flat whites.
All the avocados at Tesco will be off the shelf, and then Dulwich is there'll
be rock hard ones, mate. We're going to get Audi ones in.
Yeah.
But,
we do like Dulwich. We're only joking, really.
Yeah, no, they're all right.
But no, it's just frustrating because I
can tell he's got to, isn't he? The number 5's got to.
It's just the referees. It's just the referees in this league, because you look at it and you think,
they're so poor. The referees are poor.
The refs are horrendous, and it's not even just the ref; it's the linos as well. The linos don't really seem to have much backbone around them. They sort of don't like making a decision either. And it ruins the games after time, because you're sort of going, well, just literally play by the letter of the law and book these players, send them off, but they just don't do it. I mean, even when they did do it on Tuesday, we still didn't come away with 3 points. But it's just annoying, because you just want the referees to be a lot. It's not a noddy league. It's a very competitive, good standard of football.
I don't know. Have you been down a pilot field recently, mate? I don't know about good standard of football, but
I mean, you can just talk for yourselves, boys.
Yeah, but we had that inconsistency on the Saturday as well. I mean, I won't argue with our boy getting sent off. He was a silly boy for what he done. He's on a book and he's come in and made a reckless challenge. Yeah, it's second yellow. He walks, but they had a player booked, and I think our goalkeeper's gone to collect the ball. And the guy has really made no effort to try and play the ball. He just barged our keeper over on a yellow card. Sure, you think he walks? Referee didn't not even glance at it. And it's just, where's the consistency?
And then they make a substitution, take him off, and then they go and nick another goal, and you sort of go, well, but it's
the moans and groans of football, eh?
Bloody referees, sort it out, will ya?
Then everyone gets dug out by that ref support account on Twitter, didn't they? You say one bad thing about people, it's like, oh well, you all just moaned, didn't you?
By that ref support account, no referee does anything wrong ever. So yeah.
Well, massive Saturday, particularly for my side. If we don't win today, it's it's not impossible, but I know John and Mark will be smiling a lot bigger if we don't win. So,
to be honest, I mean, Dulwich an odd one because they have found themselves sucked into it recently, haven't they? I mean, they picked up two good results that have helped aided them a little bit, haven't they? I mean, obviously, Powers. I think most teams could beat Powers on their day now.
I'm sure we lost to them. Did we lose to them?
Win.
I think we lost to
I
them.
think we did actually.
I mean, you upset me now, John. We have the capacity to lose to anyone, mate.
Yeah, it was weird. They beat you, and then they give their manager the elbow about a week after, which was just weird. But the new bloke they got in, he managed. I think he was a former player of theirs. Again, someone else who was a bit of a shithouse defender, to be honest, back in his day. But he was only managing a team called Runwell Sports, who playing out the Essex Olympian League beforehand. And I'm thinking, he's not exactly brought a great deal of managerial wealth and pedigree to the role. He might be a bit of a sort of Bowers through and through bloke, but again, it's a hard ask trying to get a team like that out of the situation they're in at the moment. So again, as we were saying before, I think obviously it looks like Bognor are stranded. I'll eat humble pie if they beat us at the weekend. But Bowers looked pretty gone, and I think it's just those last two seem to be up for grabs.
You want to say it? You want to say Hastings are done? I know you want to say it, John. Go on. I know you do. It's on the tip of your tongue. The tip of your tongue, mate.
Anyone at this point can go on a good little run. I think obviously you look at the bottom two. I mean, I looked doing the research for the Bognor game today, and I think it's about 18 points off it, something like that, 16, 18 points. So it is a mountain and a half climb for them. But for the rest of us, it's not unrealistic to even, like I say, drop into it if we have those bad runs, or put a few wins together, and it can change dynamic things. Yeah. I mean, again, it's the same as the case with the tail up top at the moment. How tight that title race has got now. Any mistake, any dropping of points, getting punished, and it's just seems to be a bit of a yo-yo of who's want to get the title at the moment.
I don't want to jinx it for Rob, but I reckon they're going to do it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
No, seriously, mate.
No, I'll definitely argue them on the time. I mean, I think as Rob said, the most massive game they have coming up in the next few weeks will be Dartford. Because Dartford, I mean, for me, just seem like a team who they just get results. Grind out results if they need to, but can play good football as well. Dover seem to have.
Don't discount. If I was looking at them now, I think Billericay, like I said beforehand, Billericay. If you look at their running, they are not playing. They're playing little teams from like 10 and below.
Yeah, cool.
I think if they slip up,
you just don't know. I mean, they've been prone to a silly result or two this season.
Absolutely. I think that's what.
I mean, I think at home they'll be hard to beat, but away from home it might be where they slip up a bit.
I think that's what will determine it. I think there will be slip ups along the way, obviously, but I think there will be some banana skins where teams will fail. It's just so tight, like you say. You look at there on a Saturday, and you look at the scores come in. Who would have thought Chichester would have gone to Dartford, have got a draw during the week? So, you go there and you take see what happens. But if we're still 2 points behind them going into that game, that'll be a fun game to be at for sure.
Game. I don't think Ricky ain't that, but they're not that good. They drew with us, didn't they?
Stop it. That was a good point, mate. That was a good point. Right.
Yeah, but you also lost 9-0 to Hendon. So
right. Shut up, Mark. That's a 2 month plan for you, mate.
Yeah. I was just going to quickly say though.
Go on
then. Dulwich getting over 3,000 at home the other week is such a great advert for this league. That's an unbelievable home attendance, over 3,000. Yeah. That's better than what most football league clubs will probably get in League Two and League One. So, fair play.
Definitely doing something right there.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Well,
when we were only getting one man and the dog on a Tuesday night.
I nearly came over on Tuesday. Actually, I was due to go at the caravan camp next to Whitehawk. And I cancelled it because it's too bloody cold.
I would have rather just stayed in the caravan, to be fair, John.
Yeah. That was cold. I don't know how you managed. I looked at the attendance. I thought, I'm not surprised it was that low. It was bloody cold.
We used to.
Like I say about getting one man and his dog, Mark, I think our dog Sorry, our club want to keep the dog out.
Well,
It'll get better.
it will get better, mate. It will get better. Right, gents,
Anyway,
going to finish up now, mate. So, John from Canvey, Rob from Horsham, Windy from the mighty Hastings, Tom, HUFC Radio Extraordinaire, and Mark from Whitehawk. Best of luck on Saturday to all your teams, and see you at the game.
Good to see you, chaps.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode, SBTS fans. If you want to get in contact with this podcast, please email us on sbtspod@gmail.com, the Twitter, which is sbtspod. Otherwise, go to the YouTube. Over 4 years of content on there. There's so many other ways to listen. However you get your podcasts, we're on all platforms. Or go to the link tree, which is SBTS Podcast, and subscribe. It's all free. Remember, get yourselves to a game and support local football, whoever and wherever you're watching. And apart from that, see you at the game.